Long before modern highways and bright city lights, the roads of England were dark, lonely, and dangerous. In the early 1700s, travelers often had to pass through forests and empty countryside where help was far away. Horse carriages moved slowly along narrow dirt roads, and many people carried money or valuables with them on long journeys. But these lonely roads also attracted dangerous criminals known as highway robbers. Among all of them, one name became especially feared across the countryside. His name was Dick Turpin. At first, Turpin lived a normal life like many other young men in England. But as time passed, he became involved with a group of criminals who stole animals and committed small crimes in rural areas. What began as small illegal activities slowly turned into something much more dangerous. Turpin eventually became one of the most feared highway robbers in the country. He learned that the empty roads between towns were the perfect place to ambush travelers. People traveling through the countryside often carried money, jewelry, and valuable goods, and there was rarely anyone around to help them. Turpin would hide along lonely roads, waiting patiently for the sound of approaching horses or carriages. When travelers came near, he would suddenly appear from the darkness, wearing a cloak and pointing a pistol. The travelers had only one choice: hand over their valuables or risk their lives. Many people were terrified of these encounters. Some travelers lost large amounts of money, while others were left shaken by the frightening experience. Stories of the highway robber spread quickly from village to village. People in towns began warning each other about the dangerous man who attacked travelers on the roads. Soon the name Dick Turpin became known across many parts of England. Villagers spoke about him in taverns and marketplaces. Merchants traveling between towns began to fear the long countryside journeys. The government and local authorities were also becoming increasingly concerned. They knew that if the robberies continued, trade and travel would become too dangerous. Authorities began placing rewards for information that could lead to the capture of Dick Turpin. Wanted posters were spread across towns, and officers were sent out to search the countryside. But Turpin was clever and knew the roads and forests very well. Whenever officers searched one area, he would move somewhere else. Sometimes he hid deep in forests. Other times he stayed in small inns or villages under false names. For a long time, he managed to escape capture. But living as a criminal always carries risks. Eventually, Turpin made a mistake that would change everything. While moving through the countryside, he became involved in another crime related to stolen horses. This time, the authorities were able to track him down. He was arrested and taken into custody. When news spread that the famous highway robber had finally been captured, people across England were shocked. For years they had heard stories about the mysterious robber who attacked travelers along lonely roads. Now he was finally facing justice. Turpin was brought to court where his crimes were examined carefully. Witnesses spoke about the robberies that had terrified travelers. Evidence of his crimes was presented before the judge and jury. The trial attracted a lot of attention because many people were curious to see the man whose name had become so famous. In the end, the court found Dick Turpin guilty. His life as a highway robber had finally come to an end. The capture of Turpin marked the end of one of the most feared criminals of that time. Even though many years have passed since those days, the story of the cruel highway robber continues to be remembered. It serves as a reminder of a time when travel was dangerous, the roads were dark, and criminals could hide in the shadows of the countryside. But it also reminds us of something else. No matter how long someone escapes justice, the truth eventually catches up with them. And the road that once helped a criminal escape can also lead them straight to their final destination.